Additionally, I would like to ask all of our residents who are listening to these details to stay tuned to the media advisories that go forward so that you know what is taking place in the city. Also, so you can inform some of your neighbors and relatives that may not get the news in the same fashion that you have received it. It is important that we look out for one another in the midst of these crises as we are experiencing right now. There are a number of infrastructure and utility-related effects that we have suffered over the last couple of days. I will begin by providing an update from Entergy. I have spoken to a representative from Entergy who has informed me that Entergy has estimated that they have experienced between 18 to 19,000 customers that have a power outage at this time. They have informed me additionally that these power outages are largely due to large limbs falling on power lines as a result of freezing rain over the last day. None of the power outages are experienced due to blackouts or rolling blackouts, as has been mentioned through some messages through social media, and in some regards have been experienced in other cities. These outages in the city of Jackson are due to freezing rain and large limbs falling on power lines. They also inform me that the process that they are going through at this moment in order to restore service is that they have tree cutting crews that are dispersed throughout the city. They said that the 18 to 19,000 customers that are experiencing outages are spread throughout the city. It is sprinkled throughout the city. It is not from one or two locations. And so they are, as quickly as they can, getting the tree cutting crews out to cut the limbs down first before they make the repairs. They must first get the tree cutting crews to cut the limbs, and then they will make the repairs. We are well aware that most of our customers for the Jackson water system are experiencing low to no pressure. We are dealing with an extreme challenge with getting more water through our distribution system. This becomes increasingly challenging because we have so many residents at home. And while the residents are at home, that means that people are utilizing or attempting to use the water at a higher rate than they would if they were at work, if they were in school, many of the things that we would customarily be doing in the midst of the day, but we are not doing at this time because our road conditions and because of other factors. And so we do not have a definitive timeline. This is one of the unfortunate facts that I have to deliver, but I owe you honesty, I owe you truth, so that we can prepare for how we manage through this winter emergency. We do not have a definitive timeline as to when the water will be restored within the tanks, only to tell you that we are continuing to pump into the tanks and we are continuing to try to recover within the water system. This is not an unfamiliar circumstance to us. When we experienced the winter emergency of 2018, we had similar challenges getting water within our distribution system. And so the only thing that we can do, the only thing that the good people in our public works and our water treatment facility can do is pump as much water as they possibly can to fill up those tanks. While we understand that we are working in that regard, we are making efforts to accommodate people with both bottled water and non-potable water for people to use to flush their toilets. In just a moment, I'm going to ask that Ms. Keisha Sanders, our Constituent Service Director, come forward to give you details about that distribution. But before I do that, I want to encourage our residents who have been calling the City of Jackson, who have been calling 311. I want you to know that the City of Jackson is answering the phone. However, the volume of calls that we are receiving at this time because of the emergency that the entire city is experiencing has made it difficult for every call to be answered in that emergency line. And so what I would request is if you have a visible break that has occurred in or near or around your home, then you should call and let us know with 311. If you have an emergency based on something that you can view, then limit the calls to that. We are, as I said, now about to give you a briefing on where you can receive bottled water and non-potable water. Thank you, Ms. Sanders.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. As of right now, you can receive non-potable water, which can be utilized for flushing at all of our fire stations throughout the city, with the exception of Station 20, which is located on Medgar Evers, Station 10, which is located on Woodrow Wilson, and Station 22, which is located out on Lakeshore in South Jackson. So all of the other fire stations are able to provide non-potable water to our citizens for flushing. The only thing that they ask is that you bring some type of container to collect the water. We will start water distribution at 7 different locations, 6 being in Jackson and 1 being in Byram to service our Byram water customers. We will have a water distribution at Smith Will Stadium, the Metro Center Mall parking lot, Willowwood Community Center, Precinct 1 parking lot at 810 Cooper Road, Virgie P. Middleton Community Center, Flag Chapel, and the Jackson Police Academy at 3000 St. Charles. The time is to be determined, and that is going to be based on the delivery times from our vendor. We have been working with several vendors across the city this morning and yesterday to try to confirm additional deliveries for water supply, but as Mayor Lumumba mentioned, it has been a little difficult just dealing with road closures and highway closures, and a lot of the trucks that are bringing water into the city and state are out of state. And so it's been somewhat of a challenge, but we are working through it. So we're just asking that the citizens be patient with us during this time, but we will be having water distribution throughout the remainder of the weekend, or as long as we are under the citywide boil water alert. And that is all I have.
Thank you. It is important that you understand that every time we come before you, we try to arm you with as much information as we possibly can. Some of that information takes a little time to gather, as there are significant challenges that are beyond our control. Just as Ms. Sanders just mentioned, as we are trying to gather the water in order to provide to our residents, the challenge that the city has experienced is the gravity of the winter storm that we have experienced. That means that we are not only experiencing road closures in the city of Jackson, in the state of Mississippi, but in the southern region. That has led to challenges for some of the companies that the stores that we purchase water from, like Kroger, to get their distributors to get the water in that they need. And so that has created significant challenge for us to get the number of pallets that we need in order to provide water all across the city to the many residents that need it. Furthermore, I also want to put you on notice that another challenge that we are keeping an eye on is the challenge of the effect of our distributors who provide chemicals to our water treatment plant getting to our water facilities in order to have the chemicals necessary to treat the water. As it stands today, we are treating the water that is being pumped, but that is becoming critically short. And so we are monitoring the amount of chemicals that we have available. We are making every effort in order to get those chemicals in from our distributors, but they are having challenge doing so because those come from other locations, many of which are suffering road closures, suffering many of the challenges that we all know to be happening in the city. I want to also advise all of our residents that the roads are still topped with ice. The roads are still iced in many areas across the city. And so if you must travel, we just talked about people getting bottled water. We talked about people getting non-potable water. As you travel to get those necessities, we ask that you do so safely We ask that you exercise good judgment and caution. We ask that if there is a traffic calming device, meaning a barricade put in place, that you do not remove those barricades, that you understand that they are there for your protection. I'd like to ask City Council President Banks to come forward and share a few words, particularly as it relates to his residents, because we know that South Jackson, when we are experiencing low water pressure, South Jackson typically gets the worst end of that, and that is because South Jackson is the furthest point away from the water treatment facility. That means the furthest distance that the water has to travel in order to get to their homes, especially those people living in higher elevations, in higher elevated areas, it makes it significantly challenging for them. And so I'd like to invite him to share a few words, and then I have a few more details to share with you before we invite questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Sanders, for your hard work during this time. All I know is this, is that when we come to these situations, and this seems to be very historic for us with the temperatures of the reservoir and with the mass outages that we're having and with the amount of, well, low to no water flow, is that at this point we need the citizens of Jackson to not only be patient, but to rise to the occasion and to make sure that we're taking care of our most vulnerable citizens, our seniors, and a lot of people that are children that don't have access, people that might not have a four-wheel drive, that can't get down the street. This is time for us to all rise to the occasion to help deliver to Ms. Silky, to help deliver to people that we know, so that we can make sure that they're able to not only have water, but they're able to make it through this, through what we have going on. And I appreciate the leadership. And look, it's time for us all to strap up and boot up. This is not the time to criticize what's not happening and what's not right. This is the time for us to strap up, boot up, and help one another, especially our most vulnerable constituents. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Banks, and thank you for calling up to our residents for them to assist one another. I think that is the true nature and character of Jacksonians, to support one another, to help inform one another, to check on one another. That is the Southern hospitality that we have become all too accustomed to, all too accustomed of. I have some other updates, but our Public Works Director has just arrived. To date, we have informed them about the challenges within the distribution system. We've informed them that we are doing everything that we can to pump water in order to have the system fully recover, but any additional details that you may want to share, we would like to hear.
Good morning. Briefly, just give me an update where we're at. As you know, this weather has created havoc on our not water distribution system itself, but ultimately our plant and how we produce and process water and get it into the distribution system. We knew that cold temperatures would be coming in, but we did not really realize or factor in the length of time that it would be this cold in this particular area. The effect on our mechanical processes has really taken a toll on our production of water, and thus you are seeing widespread water outages throughout the city. Now, the most top question that I get is, when will the water turn back on? We are working through different scenarios in order to improve our efforts to get water out into the system. Hopefully by this weekend, you will start seeing some pressure start to build back up and water will slowly be restored. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for us to give a timeline on how the system will respond, because once again, these type of temperatures and the way that it affects the plant makes all that really unpredictable. So we continue to ask for your patience during this time as we try and get through this unprecedented time with this type of weather and the effects that it is having on our ability to provide water to our citizens. But please know that we are working around the clock in order to get this restored as quickly as possible. And once again, we just ask for your patience and know that we are trying to do our best to get water restored to the citizens. Thank you.
I'd like to take the opportunity not only to thank Dr. Williams, who is arriving to this press conference because he's been out at one of our water treatment facilities trying to monitor the circumstance, trying to get answers, trying to lead the team through the different corrective actions that we are trying to take in order to restore water within our distribution system. Not only do I want to thank him, I want to thank the people who work in our Public Works Department, the people who work in our the various areas of public safety that are still out in this cold and bitter weather, trying to help ensure that our residents are safe. Those individuals that are diving or jumping into holes in the ground, large holes in the ground in 18-degree weather over the last couple of days in order to try to restore or fix pipes. We want to express our appreciation for their hard work because they are the individuals that are truly making this happen. We are reporting to you on the work that they are accomplishing and that they are endeavoring to do, and so we want to thank them for that. There are a few other things that I want to speak to. One is the vaccination day that we have announced, and I know that many stations have been reporting and also sharing the phone number for vaccination day. That will be rescheduled. A new date will be forthcoming. That will be rescheduled for multiple reasons. One, because of road conditions being as they are presently. Additionally, that is a result of the lack of water that we have throughout the city and the challenge that it will provide to residents getting prepared for vaccination day. Additionally, the phone number that has been provided, we ask that the media take that down for a moment. That will be the number and we will be using it. However, right now the state health department's website is down. They have reserved space for vaccination day, so when people call that number, they are inputting within the system the reserved spots for people on that vaccination day. However, with the website down, we are unable to reserve the space for those individuals that are attempting to sign up. When it is restored, we will notify you of when that number is effective and useful again for residents to sign up for vaccination day. And we certainly want to get that up as soon as possible because we want our residents to take advantage of that. Closures, once again, City Hall and city offices remain closed at this time, and we will inform you when they will be open again. JTRAN service remains paused at this time, and we will also let you know when we intend to restore that. Waste Management has continued suspension of its service today. We anticipate by next week when the service days normally take place, they will be prepared to collect garbage again, collect waste again. If you have any questions, we're prepared to answer those questions at this time.
Mr. Mayor, can we get the list of the 7 water distribution locations again? And you talked about having trouble getting the water to the, when will this start? Do you have the water in place now? Or how soon will the distribution start?
I asked for clarity in your question. Are you talking about the bottled water?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'll ask Ms. Sanders to speak to that, and I'll clarify anything else that you might need.
Bottled water we have identified a vendor locally, and we are just waiting to get the call for our staff to go and pick it up. We were able to work out an agreement so they don't have to deliver it. We can send our staff and personnel to go pick it up, and then we will start to place it. So it's a matter of when their personnel can get to their warehouse to open, and then we'll schedule the distribution times later on this afternoon. So we're looking towards 3-ish, but we're not going to confirm that as of right now. Smith Will Stadium, Metro Center Mall parking lot, Willowwood Community Center, Precinct 1 parking lot, which is 810 Cooper Road, Virgie P. Middleton Community Center, which is located in Presidential Hills, Jackson Police Academy, 3000 St. Charles, and then we will also be placing a pallet at the Byram Fire Station for our Byram customers.
What about seniors who cannot get to pick up the bottled water or the, non-potable?
So as of right now, our plan is to start to collect information as it relates to homebound constituents that are not able to get out to pick up the water and start to schedule delivery. As it relates to the non-potable water, I will have to consult with the fire department just to see what would be the best way, if any way possible with that.
Mr. Mayor, as for the water at the fire stations, where is that water coming from?
So technically, and there is a low water pressure issue there. The water typically does come from our hydrants. That is why it's non-potable, because it is a non-treated water. So they usually will open up the hydrants, and if the hydrants are able to give water that within reason, they will pull it from there.
But the water in the hydrants, is that water that's coming through the system?
It's already there. It's kind of has a reserve in it. So, and then they also have tanker trucks at some of the stations that already have reserves of water because they have like the water buffalo type setups. So there's other ways.
And Dr. Williams, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the water that you receive through your tap, that's treated in a different way than the water that you get out of the hydrants. And so it's a different distribution line or distribution system. It's okay. Well, it's treated differently. It's certainly treated differently, and so there are different effects to that. I do want to share that, as Ms. Sanders said, that we are waiting on the distributor to give us the bottled water. What we will do, once again, is we'll provide a media advisory to all of the stations so that you can list those locations and the time for that water to be picked up. Once again, I ask residents to stay tuned to your local media, whether that is television stations, radio stations, and the like, so that you can get the critical updates. I always, every single council meeting, I ask people to sign up for 411, 311, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I say it every council meeting, but I messed it up this time. I ask people to sign up for 311, and I ask people to sign up for Code Red on the website. When you go on the City of Jackson's website and you go to the Code Red section on the website, that provides you critical updates in instances like what we are experiencing today. So once again, when we have the water from the distributor, we will provide the update to every station so that you can inform the public.
Do you think that's going to be within the next day or two?
We expect that we'll be able to provide this water today. So we're talking about, we're working within the next few hours in order to secure that water. The challenge was initially, like I said, being able to secure the bottled water because our grocery stores, the facilities that we rely on in order to get water to us so that we can get water to you, have been having significant challenge because of the roads being closed, not only statewide, but through the entire southern region, which has led to significant challenges and delays.
Mr. Mayor, we heard before Dr. Williams got here, you said that you didn't have a definitive time for when the water...
I said I did not have a definitive.
Right.
Yes.
That's correct. And
Yeah.
Dr. Williams said he's alluded to possibly this weekend.
He said that he's hopeful that this weekend that we could see some recovery. That's what he said. So we're hopeful that we can see recovery in this weekend. But we know that people take our words to heart. We know that people rely on what we say. So we don't want to suggest to you that that is a definitive timeline. We're prayerful that it will be sooner than that. But we want people to be armed with information. And the information that we can provide to you at this time is that they are working diligently at our water treatment facilities in order to pump out as much water as they can possibly pump out in order to fill our tanks, in order to fill the reserves, so that the pressure can be restored and residents across the city can have what they need. But once again, I just want to reiterate what the challenge is. Not only are we challenged by the weather conditions, which make the mechanics of distributing water into the system difficult and challenging, but also the fact that residents are at home at a much higher rate than they would normally be home during the normal course of a day or a week because of road closures, because of COVID. So many people are home in an unordinary way, and it is leading to the drain on the system as well.
But if the issue is the fact that the water is so cold, once the temperatures heat up, won't that problem essentially be solved?
I don't know that we said it was because the water was so cold.
That's what Dr. Williams
No.
said
No.
yesterday.
No, what I said yesterday, and let me clarify it for you. Okay, we treat water from the reservoir. We cannot control the temperature of the reservoir, but we bring that water in. Because we had very significant low temperatures over the past couple of days, we had mechanical issues due to mechanical issues due to freezing. Now, as the temperature rises, of course, that will make it better. What we're focusing on is making those type of repairs that we need inside the plant so that we can get more water out into the distribution system so we can increase the pressure. That's one issue. The second issue that we're going to have is, as you know, in the past, when we start to see temperature rise, it could have a dramatic effect on the distribution system itself. So we will probably see an increase in breaks in the system that can also delay our recovery time. But right now, our primary focus is getting water into the system so we can get it to our customers. But we just want people to be advisable that there is a high probability that we will have water main breaks in the distribution system over the next couple of days that could impact the recovery. But that's really where we're at.
How many breaks are you possibly dealing with now?
Right now, the primary issue that we're having is if we do have them, we can't see them because there's so much ice and snow. And so we have guys in our water maintenance department that are going and looking at different areas that we have known problems in the past to see if there's anything that is bubbling or rising in those particular areas. But the majority of the calls that we're getting right now is for low water pressure or no pressure as a result of the mechanical issues that we're having at the plant, our inability to put water in the distribution system.